Many people work for 30 years, 40 years, and by the time they reach retirement, they don't have something to show for it. They don't have enough money. And this happens in a lot of places and to a lot of people, not just in Ghana. It happens to people even in the Western world, where we think that they are doing very well. But the surprising thing is that when you reach retirement and you realize that you don't have enough funds accumulated to take you through your retirement years, it doesn't mean that you were lazy, and it doesn't mean that you were not wise, but you don't have enough funds because the way human beings make financial decisions is quite complicated. So I study how people make their financial decisions about their savings and their retirement. And today I want to share some insights I have gathered from my reading so far about the financial decisions people make regarding saving towards their retirement when they are in their working years. So the reality is that when people are in their working years, retirement seems very, very far from them. Like right now, as you are there, if you are in your early 30s or late 20s and you are working, retirement doesn't seem close at all. You are possibly currently thinking about your rent, food, how to feed your children, your spouse, your parents, how to provide for them, and all of those things. So retirement will not be a priority to you at this time. So it happens that people postpone saving for retirement. I've had a friend that I was speaking to previously. I spoke to severally and encouraged the person to start saving for their retirement. But he just didn't seem to buy into the idea because currently he had a lot of family financial demands to attend to. He had his own educational pursuits, so he had some expenses regarding his own education, and he had a own family. He had children, he had a wife, he had mother, he had siblings. So he just couldn't see what I was seeing, or he didn't understand me when I was encouraging him to start saving towards his retirement. And economists call this present bias. So you value your current needs, your current financial needs more than your future financial needs. Therefore, when you have to put money on the side for something that is quite far in the future, you don't value it as much. The current needs are of more value to you than the future needs. So the question is, why is retirement planning hard? Research shows that people struggle with long-term planning, and this happens a lot in people's lives. You see how people will start saving for a time. For 1 year, they will save for 2 years, and by the third year, they feel they urgently need the money for something, and so they will just pick the money. So long-term saving can be quite difficult to do. Imagine you are currently 30 years old and you intend to retire when you are 60 years old. That is a whole 30 years away from you. Now, are you going to say that you are going to really start a fund that will allow you to save for the next 30 years, and you will see this fund go for 30 years without touching the money? This is something that many people are unable to do. So because of how far the future seems to you today, you are likely to undersave. Not because you don't want to save, but it's just because the future seems quite abstract. Now, in countries like Ghana or in the African diaspora, the challenge can be worse because many people work in the informal sector. That is, many people work for themselves. We have about 60% plus of the 80% plus of the working force in Ghana working in the informal sector. Now, what does this mean? It means that income may not be stable. There may not be automatic pension deductions, and savings depend entirely on personal discipline. But it also means something. It also means that financial awareness or financial education becomes extremely important because people need to be now fully aware or properly educated as to why they need to save for their retirement so that they can personally decide, have the conviction to do it, and then put in place the systems that will help them to save, especially for those who are in the informal sector. Now, research in economics and behavioral finance suggests a few things. Small, consistent savings is more important than big or large occasional savings. So if you can do 100 cedis a month or $10 a month regularly, every single month you do it, it is better than doing $500 occasionally or doing 10,000 cedis occasionally. So what does this mean? This then means that systems that make people save automatically can encourage people to save. Again, the earlier someone begins saving, the easier retirement becomes. When you start saving your money very early when you are young, let's say in your late 20s, the money you are putting aside has a longer time to grow. When you put money aside, the money grows, and this grows by the working of compound interest. So if you put money aside when you are 20, you put 100 cedis aside when you are 20, and you put 100 cedis aside when you are 50. By the time you are 60, that 100 cedis you put aside when you were in your 20s will be much bigger than the 100 cedis you put aside when you're in your 50, because the 100 cedis you put aside when you were in your 20s has had a lot of time, so many years, to grow, so it becomes bigger. Therefore, we are saying that time is one of the most powerful financial tools to use to your advantage. So if you are saving, it's not enough to just put money aside and save. Let time also work for your advantage. That means start early, and if you have not started, this is the time to start. So retirement planning is not just about money. It is about having some dignity in your old age, where you have a good amount of money you have built for yourself to take care of your own financial needs when you have reached retirement. It's about ensuring that after decades of work, you can still live with security and with some peace of mind without needing to depend on another person. Therefore, I have been focused on understanding how people make decisions and how we can design better systems to support retirement saving. And I hope that listening to this today, you have started thinking about how you can start saving towards your retirement. Now, in future videos, I want to talk about things like pensions, retirement planning, behavioral finance, and how ordinary people can prepare for the future. If this topic interests you, do well to subscribe to this channel. Thank you for being a part of this video. Thank you for staying to watch. I hope you've learned something, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.